Right, hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jamie Delap, owner of Fyne Ales, Pawel, our head of Origins Brewing, and we're here now tasting Expedition 2. It's an expedition, it's a voyage, we're still searching, and we'll probably find our destination eventually. So, Expedition, we first brewed in the very first collection of Origins beers. The inspiration for Expedition was really trying to think a little bit about what sort of old world IPAs might have tasted like. You know, these very modern hop forward IPAs, for sure that's a valid expression of the style. But we were also thinking, well, okay, really a long time in barrel is going to pick up some sort of characteristics from the barrel. Were the beers really going to be, after a long sea voyage in the heat, were they actually going to be bright and fresh, or were they going to have a slightly tart edge to it? So we were trying to think about how would that go. So this one, Expedition 2, we've really tried to take that further forward as an idea. This beer was very much sort of a wine. This one's come out very much about the wine barrels that we used, yeah. So this was very much brewed in Chardonnay barrels. So, Pawel, you're the man that knows a bit more than I do about how this was.
So
together.
basically, Expedition 2 is an IPA that was brewed exclusively with Nelson Sauvin hops to give it more wine-like profile. And then it was barrel aged for 12 months in first fill Chardonnay barrels.
Yeah. So I think this is an interesting one for me. Origins, we say is like it's all about sort of sense of place. We have to be honest. We're not in great wine growing country here, are we? So
Right.
I think we should be honest and say we take our inspirations as many and varied. And I think here it is that expedition to a degree. Everything in brewing, but particularly this project, is a bit of a journey. So I think we'll use the journey idea to tie this one into why it belongs in the Origins range. Yeah. So anyway, cheers. Good health.
Cheers. It's definitely winey.
Definitely wine. You're
definitely
really in
winey.
that Chardonnay characteristic coming
Right.
through, aren't you?
But it's also really nice light citrus note.
Yeah.
Maybe bergamot.
Yeah. Okay.
It's dry. It's
Yep. Yeah.
definitely
Absolutely.
dry.
Really.
But it has really nice.
But there is that slight
finish.
sort of grapey roundness at the back of the mouth, isn't there?
Right.
That sort of slight fruit juice sort of flavour at the back.
Yeah, it's probably both from barrel and hops.
Yeah. And again, you're getting a bit like the Crimson Fall that we were tasting earlier. You're getting a little bit of sort of that sort of oaky barrel characteristic
Right,
coming through,
right.
but it's not as pronounced. I mean, that one you really get a lot of tannin.
Just touch
coming
of
through.
oak.
Yeah.
Right.
But here, no, I'm not getting like an overpowering note of oak at all. It's elegant.
No.
Yeah. 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 And this one, I think, has very much evolved in bottle since we first tried it. It's got a. I think the wine characteristic has almost come out more. I would say there's a bit of the bitterness seems to have gone a bit drier and a bit more puckering at the back of the mouth, hasn't it?
And how about the hop profile?
The hop profile. Oh, there we go. That's a good question. I'm struggling to remember. Yeah, I would. Yeah. There's a lot of time, a lot of beers. I'm struggling to remember each of the beers that sufficiently well, if I'm honest.
I assume hop profile was slightly more pronounced in the beginning,
but remember, even after we bottled it had, I think, a year in Chardonnay barrels before bottling, didn't it? And then I think probably a good 3 months in bottle before we released it, and we're now another 6 months on after we released that. So yes. I think a lot of the hop, the real hop flavour will have attenuated.
Right.
Yeah, but it was notable even at the end of a year in wine barrel. I mean, it was still really quite it was very much a clean beer, wasn't it? Yeah. Did we use a kettle sour to give this one a sharp edge again, or?
Right, that's correct. Before packaging, the beer was blended with a small portion of lactobacillus soured wheat ale.
Yeah.
And I think it also allowed to round up a little bit the wine profile of the beer and oaky flavor.
Yes. I mean, that's certainly. I mean, that's something we did on Expedition 1 as well. I think on a couple of others we did as well. And I like that. It's quite nice. If you pick up a lot of sort of oak and wine in the barrel program. I think originally when we did Expedition 1, we thought that after a year in barrel, it would have picked up some sort of a lactic.
Right.
From either a lacto or a pedio anyway, but actually both Expedition 1 and 2 came out really still tasting quite clean, as it were, without any lactic souring at the end of that. But for me, I think the lactic sour does makes this beer much more valid. I think without that, it sort of it wouldn't have. It needs that to cut the flavours and to tie it all together. I think it makes a lot more sense being slightly sour. But it's not massively. I mean, it's quite a low level of sourness.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's sour. It's just tart.
Tart, exactly that. Yeah, and I quite like that. I think there's a lot of quite aggressively sour beers out there.
Right.
We've never really been into these big contests of who's got the most IBUs, who can make the sourest beer. That's not what we're about. I think one of the things we're always aiming for, everything we do with Fyne Ales, is drinkability. And for me, like a nice tartness sitting alongside the barrel character is what's really making this beer work nicely. Yeah. Good. So, cheers, folks. Hope you enjoy. Many thanks.